Hi, my name is Valerie Matthias, and this is a video tutorial for Next Step Press. And on today's video tutorial, we're learning about the napkin technique. Now, admittedly, the first time I heard about the napkin technique, I thought, why would I ever want to put napkins in my Bible? But it turns out, if you're looking for the right napkins, it adds an instant splash of colors to your page. And sometimes the napkins can help you, the images on the napkins can help remind you of what's in Scripture, or Scripture will suddenly catch your eye on a napkin that you see. So in that way, it's a little like an object lesson. And I actually have a napkin today that works just like that. So I'm actually working with two hymn journals today, one to show you and then one to do, but I've got them both, Ponder Anew and When From Death I'm Free, so we'll be working or looking at both of those. The tools that you'll need, this is called clear gesso. Gesso is the name, and you want the clear kind. Well, this is what we're using. This is what I know works. I've used it in the past. It's good stuff. We're also going to use a paintbrush. For the smaller stuff, I'm going to use a smaller paintbrush. For the bigger stuff, I'm using a bigger paintbrush. Paintbrushes, gesso, let's get to work. So suddenly I have all these napkins that I just kind of accumulated and collected. I would call this my summer boutique of napkins. I have a fall and a winter, and I'm kind of becoming one of these crazy napkin ladies. But this one really caught my eye. This is a napkin, it's kind of garden-ish. In the Ponder Anew, at the very beginning, when it's talking about aromas and gardening and digging, I thought, hey, I want to use that. Let me show you how I've used this technique in When From Death I'm Free. In the hymn, What Wondrous Love Is This, it talks about love. This was a napkin that I got for Valentine's Day, and I kind of fancy trimmed the hearts, and then I gessoed those in. So when you're looking at a napkin, turns out the fancier napkins have higher ply. Almost all napkins are 2 ply, some are 3. And what I mean by that is the layers within the napkin. You want to get it down to the topmost layer. You don't want all those extra plies. A quick way to do that is to use some washi tape. You'll need 2 little pieces of washi tape on each finger, and then you're just sticking washi tapes to both of these plies, and you're gently pulling them apart, and this is going to pull apart the plies of your napkin. So this is the part I want, this part I don't want, and actually this napkin was so fancy that it was a 3-ply napkin, but we really don't need any of this, so we'll just throw that over there. We do want this. Once you have your napkin down to your single ply, now it becomes much more fragile, and you have to be a little more careful when you're working with it. Or what we're going to do for this aroma flavor power page is I'm gonna get one of these down to just that little image. Some people use scissors for this part, and you would need some pretty dainty looking scissors. I will not be doing that. I'm actually going to use, this is called a water brush. Not everyone has a water brush at their house. I'm thinking that what you could use is actually a Q-tip dipped in a little bit of water, but it's going to do the same thing. So the way a water brush works is there is water in this chamber. If you gently squeeze it, then a little bit of water comes out. So that's what I want, is just that little bit of water. So I'm going to take my water brush, and I'm just going to put a little bit of water around this potted plant, because that's what I want, is this potted plant. And because it's a napkin, it really doesn't take much. Take that apart. So now I have just the potted plant, just what I'm looking for. When you have these kind of raggedy edges like that, it blends into the page better. If I were to have cut it, it would give me a harsh edge. It would not blend as well. So I've kind of looked over my book and realized that some of these images are quite big, and so maybe a big pot would fit right here. I think think I want a smaller pot to be up here. I've got just a dry brush. Here's my gesso. I'm just going to dip right into this. Now, wherever I want my pot to be, that's where I'm going to put my gesso down. And it really doesn't take too much. I'm just painting this on. Kind of quick, kind of not too worried about it. And then I'm going to put that pot down right over top. The bottom layer of gesso will act as a glue. You could dry this. I'm not too worried about it. I like to start in the middle and work my way out. And that's really it. That's how you get a pot in there. Let's see if we can do another one. It went so quick. Let's see if we can do another one. So maybe up in this corner, I want another kind of, maybe I just want this. Let's get my water brush. I really should have something to protect my work underneath. This is a very inexpensive cutting board from the Dollar Tree. I think you can get 2 of them for $1. Super inexpensive, just a plastic mat. You can buy it in the kitchen section. I'm gonna put that down there just to protect my pages below. I probably should have done it to begin with, but I was so excited. I was just so excited to get going. So one more time, just putting my gesso down. Have it curl in a little bit. And putting my gesso over top. And that's really it. A quick pop of color, a quick way to get an image. Maybe you don't enjoy drawing, maybe you don't really enjoy coloring, but you like to take images that exist and get them into your hymn journal. That's awesome. That's totally fine. You're seeing what's in the world. You're connecting it to what's happening in your hymn journal. I'm going to use a heat gun to set this. You don't have to use a heat gun. A blow dryer would work. You could just let it sit out. That would be totally fine, but I'm just going to do a heat gun real quick. If you're doing something small and a little more intricate, that's something that you could do in your hymn journal. Hey, I had a great time. I hope you enjoyed yourself, and I'll see you next time. This video tutorial was made possible in part by the generous support of Next Step patrons like you. Patrons make it possible. Support a Next Step by becoming a patron today. Visit patreon.com/findmynextstep.